I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Joe Franklin, what's up? First off, I just want to say congratulations to the class of 2020. We're proud of you. I wish you guys nothing but the best in your future. You have so much potential, so many opportunities. Go out and achieve it. Congrats. And once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat.
Good evening, students, faculty, and loved ones. It is my great honor to welcome you to Franklin High School's virtual graduation ceremony, celebrating the class of 2020. I cannot believe that this day has finally come. A lot has happened in the past 4 years. Each and every one of us has grown and changed tremendously since we began our journey as freshmen. It's funny to look back and think about how scary high school sounded coming in as little freshmen, but now we almost wish we could hold on just a little while longer. Franklin High School has become like a home to us. I genuinely miss walking through the doors every morning, going through the same schedule, and seeing all the familiar faces that I've come to adore so much. While obviously things have ended a little differently than we all expected, at least we'll always share the most memorable senior year ever. I know everyone has a slight bias towards their graduating class, but there's truly something special about the class of 2020. Our unity has been perfectly displayed in this unprecedented time as we're separate but more supportive of each other than ever. Many of these people have gone to school together since kindergarten. For so long, this day seemed like it was in the distant future. Then one day, in the blink of an eye, we weren't kids anymore. Suddenly, we have to make all of these big life decisions, and everything just seems so unfamiliar. As scary as this all may seem, the one thing I know is that we have a strong foundation. We've built friendships that will last a lifetime, and a strong support system behind us. Of course, it takes a village, and we've had a wonderful school and community helping us the whole way. We have the most amazing teachers and administrators here at Franklin. They're a large part of what makes this school so great, and we truly couldn't be luckier to have them. Thank you to each and every person that has invested in us and believed in us. I'm so thankful for my family and friends as well. Their constant support has been such a blessing. It has been truly heartwarming to see the community come together and be so generous to our class in light of the unusual ending to our senior year. The support and kindness has been overwhelming, and we are extremely grateful for such an amazing city. We may all take away vastly different memories from high school. For some, this may be their best game, favorite role in a play, most memorable band competition, or favorite teacher. But I hope that one memory will hold true beyond these. Our sense of community and pride as Franklin Wildcats, class of 2020. Once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. As we close this chapter of our lives and look to start anew, we must remember the good times, the relationships we formed, the lessons we learned, and the opportunities that await. As the great Dwight Schrute once said, "I'm ready to face any challenge that might be foolish enough to face me." Thank you.
When I think back on this year, I have many moments upon which to reflect. Although this may not have been the most normal school year for anyone, the class of 2020 has had a senior year that no one else will be able to understand. In order to honor my class, I am going to share what I feel are the top 5 most important things about the class of 2020. In 5th place comes our work ethic. One of my favorite parts of every class meeting this year with Mrs. Fromm and Mr. Voinovich was hearing them say, "Once again, the senior class has the highest attendance rate." This proves just how committed we all were to making this school year great, not just by having fun, but academically as well. No matter how excited we got for the day we would get our diplomas, our work ethic never wavered. 4th place is our competitiveness. This class never wanted to be beat. Even when it was a simple competition during a pep rally for which section was the loudest, we still gave it our all. We made a commitment to be the best at everything we did, and I can definitely say that I think we did a pretty good job. In 3rd place is the amount of pride we show for our school. Since the beginning of our freshman year, this class always supported each other. From the field to the auditorium to the gym, we showed up ready to cheer our hearts out. There is no better feeling than seeing your classmates thrive in something they love doing. The class of 2020 never let any talent go unnoticed. Second is how close we all are to each other. Many of the people in this class feel more like family rather than friends. We always have each other's backs. Throughout the many years with this class, we have made memories to look back on for years to come. From breakfast in the back parking lot to summer bonfires, we have all shared wonderful moments together that have bonded us forever. And finally, in first place, is the fact that even though this year was nowhere near what we expected, we never gave up. This class has proven that no matter the obstacles that we find on our path, we can get through it together. Sure, we spent a lot of time stuck in our houses, but we made it through, and here we are. After all these years together, I cannot express how proud I am of our class for all of our accomplishments. Even though the school year has come to an end, you know what they say, once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rachel Rupert Wolfenbarger, and I'm the president of the Franklin City Schools Board of Education. I want to start out by thanking those who worked very hard in making this ceremony happen. Mrs. Fromm, Mr. Voinovich, Mrs. Arlinghouse, Mrs. Wright, Mrs. Shockley, Mrs. Judy, Mrs. Anderson, Mrs. McGrew, Mrs. Parsons, Mrs. Hudson Estep, and Mr. Ergens. I also want to thank the entire Franklin City Schools administration and staff, without whom our graduates would not be here tonight. Finally, I want to thank all the parents, grandparents, siblings, relatives, and friends who have stood behind our graduates from their first day of kindergarten through their last day of high school. And a special thank you is in order for your support of the graduates over the past few months. To begin my speech, I have to acknowledge the fact that this is weird, right? There's no way around it. This is a graduation ceremony that no one anticipated or really wanted. But in line with one of the most notable traits of the Franklin High School class of 2020, I want to begin with a positive perspective on having a virtual graduation. First, if you don't like the sound of my voice, you can mute me. If you don't like my face, which is totally understandable, you can just scroll through Instagram for the next few minutes. Or if you're watching after the live stream airs, you can skip me altogether and get to the people you really want to see. Just a heads up, I'm running right about 5 minutes. For those of you that decided to continue listening, another silver lining of celebrating virtually is that instead of starving through a multiple-hour ceremony, you can actually eat while graduation is happening. It's basically like going to the Dixie Stampede or medieval times. Well, it's not exactly like that, but at least you can watch graduation and have a snack without people looking at you funny when you open that noisy bag of chips. Now, this is the second time I've given a commencement speech. And the first time around, I spoke about the importance of keeping a sense of humor as you move through life. More than ever, I continue to believe that maintaining a sense of humor is crucial to staying sane. So, what I want to focus on tonight is why keeping a sense of humor is important. It was said by Mel Brooks that humor is just another defense against the universe. Finding humor in difficult situations is an effective tool in a few different ways. It can create a sense of positivity when you are experiencing hardships. But even more significant is that humor can help build resilience. And if you want to be successful, you have to be resilient. The way your senior year ended was certainly not expected or wanted. But I'm sure this isn't the first time life has been unfair to you. And unfortunately, it won't be the last. There's a quote from the movie Batman Begins that I've always liked and I think perfectly relates to turning hardship into future success. It's when Thomas Wayne asks his son Bruce, who, spoiler alert, becomes Batman, "Why do we fall?" And then he continues on, "So we can learn to pick ourselves up." As you enter a new stage of life, a crucial factor in determining your success is how you deal with challenges that come your way. Are you going to stay down or learn to pick yourself up? If you learn to pick yourself up, I promise you, the curveballs won't hold you back, they will make you stronger. As you sit at home watching this first of its kind graduation, you are in a unique position. Yes, you have experienced disappointments, setbacks, and no doubt sadness over the abrupt ending of your senior year of high school. But if you allow it, this experience will provide you with an opportunity to strengthen your resilience, to be stronger than you were before in the face of adversity. Whether you realize it or not, by virtue of graduating during this global pandemic, you have already demonstrated resilience. You have adapted, you have innovated, and this experience will forever shape how you see the world and solve problems. Because of that, our world is going to need your perspective and leadership. We need you to learn how to pick yourself up. Based upon your actions so far, I know you're up to the challenge. To the Franklin High School class of 2020, congratulations and thank you. You have made us proud with your resilience, maturity, and positive attitude, and this is just the beginning. I truly cannot wait to see how you turn current challenges into future successes. As you leave your high school years behind and forge a new path, just remember to keep a sense of humor along the way. It will serve you well. And finally, one last piece of advice to take with you. Never let anyone treat you like a yellow starburst. You are, in fact, a pink starburst. Thank you.
As student body president, I have the privilege of presenting the 2020 senior class gift. Franklin City Schools has given so much to our class, and we would like to give a small token of our appreciation with something that will last for generations. With that being said, we are providing the funds to purchase a Spirit Rock. A Spirit Rock will be placed in front of the high school to leave the mark of the class of 2020. I would like to thank Ms. Fromm and Mr. Voinovich, as well as all of the Franklin High School faculty for supporting the class of 2020, and also Ms. Arlinghouse for coordinating the purchase of the Spirit Rock. And lastly, I would like to thank the class of 2020. Thank you for allowing me to be your class president. I will cherish the memories forever. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Allison, and the class of 2020 for your very generous gift. The Rock, or Spirit Rock, will be a lasting and tangible reminder of the class of 2020 that we will proudly take it with us, hopefully in the future when we get to build a new high school. Even without your gift, the class of 2020 will always be remembered and hold a special place in the hearts of Franklin High School and the Franklin community. As you become alumni, please remember the community and people that supported you, and when the time is right, pay it forward to your alma mater. I am confident the class of 2020 will continue to give back to Franklin High School both now and in the future, and no pun intended, you guys rock. So thank you to the class of 2020. March 13th, who would have thought that would have been your last day at Franklin High School? When you left the building that day, we all knew something big was about to happen, but none of us could have predicted the importance of March 13th. The last day of saying the pledge, eating lunch, walking the halls, afternoon dismissal, all those daily events that are so routine but taken for granted, and when taken away, sadly missed. Since that day, the halls of Franklin High School have been so empty and the building far too quiet. I grieve the moments and days lost with this group of seniors. What I wouldn't give for one more morning of telling you to walk with purpose, and you have 4 minutes. I'm sure many of you had similar thoughts of just one more day. Now, I don't want the tone of this speech to be sad, and I'll try not to ugly cry like I did during senior awards, but to talk about the class of 2020 and to not talk about what was lost would be insincere. Seniors, please know that we wish we could give back to you the 34 days of being a normal Franklin High School student that you lost, as well as prom, awards, the list goes on and on. While it is normal to be sad about what was lost, we cannot dwell in our grief. We have to find ways to remember what you did have during your tenure at Franklin High School and move forward with a heart full of happy memories and hope for the future. Speaking of your future, speeches for graduation typically talk about the road ahead. However, as you end your journey as a student in Franklin City Schools, it is important to remember the path that led you to this point. As you move on, don't forget to be grateful for the friendships and memories you have formed with your classmates. Even 20, 30, 40 years from now, the Franklin High School class of 2020 will have memories and moments that they can only share with one another. Your path to this moment started 13 years ago as kindergartners, and this class has the distinction of being the first group that all attended kindergarten together at Hampton Bennett. After kindergarten, you went on to attend either Anthony Wayne, Gerke, Hunter, Pennyroyal, or Skank, your own individual paths leading you to this point. I am forever grateful and blessed that my path crossed yours 6 years ago in 2014 when you entered Franklin Junior High School as anxious and clueless 7th graders. Well, at Franklin Junior High School, this group had the reputation for a focus on academics, dedication to community, and that they valued the importance of supporting one another. That was very true this spring as well. On their last day as 8th graders, I got choked up giving them their awards, imagine that, thinking about all the wonderful things they had in store for them and the great successes they would achieve. It also hit me how much I was going to miss seeing them every day. At that moment, I'm sure your parents would agree, your high school graduation seemed very far in the future, and none of us could have anticipated how truly different graduation would look for the class of 2020. Regardless of the ending, I feel like we blinked, and you went from awkward junior high school students to Franklin High School alumni. Over the last 4 years, the class of 2020 has experienced happiness, laughter, sadness, joy, and grief, but through it all, they have won and lost with dignity and class. The class of 2020 has shown us all the value of loyalty, dedication, teamwork, and most importantly, resilience. On behalf of myself and Mr. Voinovich, thank you for your grace, your spirit, your humor, your hard work, and your support during your time at Franklin High School. The Franklin High School class of 2020 is a very special group of young people with a very special place in the hearts of the faculty and staff at the high school. Every year when preparing for graduation, I review statistics specific to the graduating class. Here are some of the highlights for the class of 2020. The class of 2020 had 21 students receive a 30 or higher on one part of the ACT, placing them in the 95th percentile nationally and being named to the Principals Plus 30 Club. The class of 2020 had 11 students that have met the criteria for the President's Education Award and 48 students that earned honors diplomas. In addition, we had 65 students in the class of 2020 earn their academic varsity letters and 38 students recognized as SWBL Scholar Athletes. The class of 2020 completed 4,546.55 total hours of documented community service, which accounts for roughly 190 days of service. The class of 2020 had 55 students donate blood 3 or more times, indicated by the red ropes they received for graduation, saving hundreds of lives with their generosity. The National Honor Society has 35 members in the class of 2020, as well as 7 members in the National Tech Honor Society, 41 students in Spanish National Honor Society, and 8 in French National Honor Society. In addition to their academic honors, as seniors, the class of 2020 led Franklin High School to league championships in football, boys basketball, and cheerleading. And I'm sure many of you would agree, if we had been able to have spring sports, I would predict more championships would have been earned by Franklin High School under the leadership of the class of 2020. Our theater department presented 2 amazing shows this year, and we know the spring musical would have been just as amazing. Our band and choir programs continue to excel this year, and both programs will miss the performance and leadership provided by the class of 2020. We have students that have enlisted or are planning to enlist in the military in the near future, demonstrating their dedication to excellence and their country. We have many students that have full-time employment started very shortly after graduation, if not already. When I talk about statistics, I typically include a total dollar amount of scholarships. At this time, I cannot give an exact dollar amount for the class of 2020 as we are still receiving notifications of scholarships received. I am confident, however, when it is all said and done, the class of 2020 will have a scholarship total that rivals previous classes, if not surpassing. This class, however, is more than just their statistics. They are young adults of character, integrity, grit, and love. They are actors, musicians, athletes, leaders, and entrepreneurs. They are hardworking, loving, caring, and epitomize everything that makes Franklin such a wonderful hometown. Bottom line, whatever descriptor we use for the class of 2020 and all the great things they've achieved, I, for one, can't wait to see what the future holds for this phenomenal group of young people. Now comes the part of the speech where I'm supposed to give you advice or witty anecdotes about adult life. The reality of the situation is while the class of 2020 has many things still to learn, in reality, they've already taught those around them so many valuable lessons. The class of 2020 has so many unique experiences due to unprecedented life events that will shape them both now and in the future. For me to say I understand what graduating right now feels like would be insincere, as I had a very traditional high school graduation. The class of 2020, however, will be remembered for so many things, but they have also become synonymous as the class that has had a very non-traditional graduation. Virtual graduation? What the heck is that? Drive-by graduation? Really? Picking up diplomas in the office? Not how any of us imagined this year ending. However, this group of amazing young people refused to let the negative define them, and they were determined to stay positive and to be part of determining what a non-traditional graduation looked like on their terms. I put on social media the following message to get inspiration and clarity to write my speech. My message said, I'm working on my speech for the Franklin High School class of 2020. This group is so special, and I want to make sure I capture the joy and sadness they and their families are feeling. If you could give one piece of advice to 2020, what would it be? Here are just a snapshot of the wisdom bestowed upon the class of 2020. First, from the wisest person I know, my mom, keep dreaming of your future, stay optimistic and hopeful. To quote my good friend, Mr. Bales, you are given one mouth and two ears for a reason. Listen more than you speak. Another great quote, start by making your bed. The class of 2020 has made the sweetest lemonade from the many lemons you were thrown this year. Keep it sweet, always. That was from Kristen and Madison Earls' mom. Keep handling adversity with dignity and grace. Resilience. This is something that takes people a lifetime to learn. Although dark times are horrible, we are all having to adapt in different ways. Wear sunscreen. That's the truth. Complaints in work and in life are better accepted when they come with a possible solution. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what difference you want to make. Don't focus so much on planning your future that you forget to live in the moment. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Kindness does not cost you a thing, and it matters. More than a fancy title or a bank account, more than anything really, just be kind. Bring this new sense of versatility and adaptability with you through all the challenges you will face in life. You have become stronger because of this experience. And lastly, you are stronger than your circumstances. Be brave and work hard. Now just a couple from Mrs. Fromm. When socially acceptable again, take time to hug your people. For me, there is going to be a time when I can hug people again, including members of the class of 2020. And I just want you to be prepared that it's going to be weird. They're going to be really long, awkward hugs, so just be ready. Don't take moments with people you care about for granted. You never know the next time in your life you will have a March 13th and not have the opportunity again to show people how much they mean. Be true to you. As my mom has always told me, no one cares more about you than you. Even as adults, people will try to bend you to their will, but only you know your truest self. Now, no ugly crying, just a little bit of tears. I will try to get through this next part without truly crying as well. For the Franklin High School class of 2020, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Franklin High School and the Franklin City Schools Board of Education, we are so proud of you. As you move on to the next chapters of your lives, remember that you have a hometown that is proud of you and that you can be proud of. Once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. Now for the certification statement and to introduce the graduates, which is the moment we've all been waiting for. As principal of Franklin High School, it is my pleasure and honor to announce that I can attest that these students that you will see momentarily have met the educational requirements set forth by the Ohio Board of Education, and Franklin City Schools. Now, each of you will be recognized individually in the program with a picture and any honors, awards, and extracurricular activities that you chose to submit. Following the recognition of graduates, we will end the virtual graduation ceremony with closing remarks by Madison Powell. Thank you to the class of 2020 and your families, and have a wonderful evening.
Camry Anthony, Jafar Sadiq, Abdushahid Fuller. Jacob Dale Adams. Jonathan Wayne Adams. Kara Mariah Agner. Elise Caitlin Aldridge. Gabriel Graham Allen. Joseph Christian Ambergy. Clayton James Angel. Nicholas Red Back. Logan Daniel Bailey. Ethan James Baird. Mary Elizabeth Baker. Michaela Renee Barker. Austin Hunter Begley. Carson Wayne Bowling. Mariah Jade Branham. Riley Nicole Brandon. Kayla Paige Brewer. Allison Kathleen Brinkman. Desmond Davis Brown. Mayante Davy Lamar Brown. Tristan Danielle Brown. Victoria Marie Brown. Summer Michelle Browning. Benjamin Robert Buckingham. Rihanna Peyton Burke. Aliana Michelle Carpenter. Cassidy Grace Carver. Gunnar Matthew Chisenhall. Alessandra Clavel Hernandez. James Andrew Clevenger. Matthew Anthony Cofield. Darren Matthew Collins. Megan Olivia Combs. Alexander Lee Cook. Samantha Lee Francis Cox. Dylan Ryan Crandall. Parker James Crawford. Kaylee Marie Long Crutchfield. Hannah Caitlin Cundiff. Amanda Rose Dalton. Brett Christopher Dalton. James Case Daniels. Jacob Michael Deegan. Dylan Michael Dirks. Tyler Chase Dishon. Kristen Lynn Earls, Madison Lynn Earls, Samantha Joanne Earnhardt, Callie Nicole Elam, Lydia Lauren Elam, William Gregory Emmerich, Isaiah Gage Estep, Daniel Joseph Faulkner, Olivia Faith Faulkner, Haley Marie Fickey, Elizabeth Jane Fields, Pierce Austin Finton, Patrick Leon Fitzgerald, McKenna Grace Fitzpatrick, Cameron Blake Foster, Emily Marie Garner, Tedria Jean Gast, Lacey Nicole Gentry, Devont Abednego Jeter, Lena Michelle Gilly, Jessica Nicole Golahan, Bryant Ray Greer, McKenna K. Griffin, Haley Carol Groves, Todd Allen Hall, Eliana Lynn Harden, Kaylee Ann Harris, David Isaiah Harville, Mariah Jade Harville, John Gabriel Hawkins, Cody James Hembry, Madison Renee Hess, Jalea Lanae Hill, Memphis Michael Hill, Avery Reed Hilt, Mackenzie Danielle Holmes, Sean Michael Hopper, Macy Ray Hudson, Colton Ryan Hurley, Timothy Scott Jansen, Vincent Edward Jansen, Aliyah Diana Renee Jimenez, Caden Isaiah Johnson, Derek Gage Johnson, Zachary Nicholas Johnson, Kylie Paige Kearns, Dylan James Kindla, Aiden Norris Kinser, Evan Michael Krasnonsky, Jared Wolfgang Kramer, Austin Jeffrey Lakin, Anthony Allen Larrick, Haley Rian Lawhorn, Drew Anthony Lawson, Riley Mackenzie Lawson, Dalton Jeremy Leach, Mariah Faith Ledford, Mackenzie Beth Light, Braden Anthony Lewis, James Franklin Lewis, Sierra Louise Michelle Lewis, Victoria Ann Linninger, Kelsey Adeline Madden, Tiana Jade McGee, Shania Angel Mangrew, Jacob Justin Marion, Gage Evan Marshall, Madison Noel McGuire, Draven Chandler McQuinn, Sean Austin McQuinn, Kaylin Marie McRoberts, Jacob Glenn Allen Meadows, Madison Elizabeth Meadows, Caleb James Miles, Chloe Marie Miller, Madison Adrienne Miller, Selena Marie Miller, Jaden Lee Minor Coldiron, Evan Drake Moore, Madison Elizabeth Morgan, Jacob Austin Mulligan, Kyra Alana Napier, Trinity Elizabeth Ann Neese, Christian Keith Pajo, Crystal Vianney Paredes, Nathan Charles Passmore, Kush Sanjay Patel, Adrian Marie Patterson, Macy Jade Patterson, Wyatt Scott Payne, Sydney Brianna Penny, Allison Paige Perez, Michael Thomas Philippe, Benjamin Thomas Phillips, Tyrone Tyrell Phillips, Devon Michelle Powell, Madison Grace Powell, Cody Eugene Matthew Prater, Emily Jordan Perkey, Nicholas Robert Lee Piles, Carson Elizabeth Quillen. Madison Kaylee Raby. Michaela Leanne Raby. Jack Wyatt Riley Rebholz. Lessel Cole Rep. Adriana Di Richards. Logan Chase Richards. Carly Deanna Jean Ricard. Jackson Paul Riddell. Jacob Tanner Riddell. Megan Jean Roberts. Willow Madison Roadhaver. Cheyenne Bree Rogers. Kiara Haley Roque. Samantha Ciara Roque. Jacob David Runyon. Jason Christopher Rupert. Ryan Lee Russell. Christopher Andrew Ruthroff. Kobe Lee Sargent. Julie Ann Savage. Charles Douglas Shearer. Matthew James Sheets. Betty Gale Shepard. Blake Lee Shirley. Alexandra Page Schumard. Davin Thomas Simmons. Christopher Joseph Slavinsky. Jace Christiana Spears. Honesty Jeanette Stanifer. Noah Dean Stevens. Derek William Stidham. Brooke Lee Stover. Madison Ann Stover. Chase Michael Swain. Brian James Thacker. Alexa Brooke Thompson. Michael Jet Tinch. Peyton Isbel Titus. Ashley Brooke Townsend. Allison Blake Tussey. Titus Noah Tussey. Cody Ray Veers. Dustin Ray Voiles. Cody Michael Warman. Jacob Wayne Watkins. Joshua Christopher Weeks. Rachel Nicole Wells. Noah Jacob Wendt. Zachary Matthew Wenzel. Tyler James Whirling. Shanna Lynn Wisman. Rihanna Nicole White. Taylor Nicole Whiteman. Christian Michael Williams. Patricia Murray Williams. Logan Phoenix Willis. Jonathan Michael Wills. Micah Kanan Wilson. Braden Joseph Parker Woods. Madison Olivia Woods. Athena Rose Almanza Yaspek. Madison Nicole Young. Alec Michael Zimmerman. Zach Dale Minton.
For as long as I can remember, I have heard the class of 2020 referred to as a truly special class. I always wondered what exactly set us apart from classes that came before us and will continue to come after we are gone. I thought it might have been our academic, athletic, or even artistic promise. But during this time of hardship is when I realized what truly made us different. We, the class of 2020, are unique in our connection to one another. Even in a time in which we cannot be together physically, we have continued to stay connected to our fellow graduates and our community as a whole. From adopted senior baskets, the many well wishes I both sent and received before scholarship interviews, and the congratulatory messages following the senior awards, there has not been a single time in which I felt alone in my accomplishments or in my struggles. It is impossible to make it through 4 sometimes treacherous years of high school without struggling in some capacity. Maybe for you it was getting good grades, losing a loved one, family struggles, or even something as seemingly insignificant as taking pre-calc. I know that was one of mine. Everyone has different challenges that shape them into who they are, but the class of 2020 is unique in that we all share a collective hardship, the loss of the end of our senior year. I know in comparison to the many losses facing the world at a time like this, things such as senior proms, field trips, and last days may seem minuscule, but to those losing them, they matter a great deal. They were supposed to be the closing chapter of a long 13 years of hard work and dedication. But I would like to remind my fellow classmates that this does not take away from all of the great memories we made along the way before our time was cut short. The good memories of cheering along the Wildcats at Friday night football games, holding hands as we sang the alma mater during our first pep rally as seniors, and even the smaller but perhaps more meaningful memories, such as laughter around a lunch table, will forever be with us. I ask you today to remember those memories more than the ones that could have been. In conclusion, the class of 2020 has experienced a variety of hardships, both ones traditional to the high school experience and ones that no one could have predicted. But today we are graduating nonetheless. However, this is not our closing chapter. In fact, we are all really just getting started. As we all go our separate ways after graduation, getting started on our careers, further our education, joining the military, or whatever else life may have in store, I hope that the connectedness that makes our class truly unique never fades. No matter where life takes you in the years following this ceremony today, I hope that the lessons you have learned and the memories you have made over the last 4 years will stick with you as I know they will with me. Thank you.